This is the only video you need to watch about studying in Canada. Everything from part-time jobs to choosing the right course, we will talk about it in this video. So I'm going to talk to two students who are currently enrolled in a university in Canada, two international students who will give you their perspective. So stay tuned.
Okay, so my name is Elias. We recently, just to give us a little bit of a background, we recently started a podcast called Irreversible in Spanish. We are he's from Mexico, I'm from Colombia, and we decided to open this podcast just to share our experience, our international experience, being in a foreign country from a totally different culture that has nothing to do with what life is about in here. And yeah, that's all about it.
Okay, yeah, we just opened this new project because we wanted to show our lifestyle, being an international student, getting a job, going to university, the challenges we face as like more of an internal process. And yeah, it's coming from Latin American backgrounds, Colombia and Mexico. I think we have a lot of to share, and this is like our project.
Good. So tell me this, guys, when you guys were starting your podcast, right? And let's go back to when you were coming to TRU. Did you find any students who were doing what you're doing now at that time?
Like in TRU or back in Colombia?
Like if you were searching for content about your university, did you find it online?
Okay, that was one of the main issues. So like when I first when I was applying to come to university, maybe my English was not perfect. My English was not that good, and so I had to look into English content because there's no actual Spanish content. There's not so much Spanish content at that time of people talking about universities in Canada.
Like in specific point, let's comment here, the challenges. Like we were looking for specific aspects that there were no YouTube channel or podcasts about that.
How about YouTube channel in general?
Sorry, what?
How about YouTube channels in general? Was there anyone talking about it at the time?
There were a couple of channels, I think, that were talking about that topic, but like maybe not specifically all the things that we wanted to hear at that time. You know what I mean? So like there was nobody talking about, okay, maybe some people talking about technical aspects, but like I wanted to hear somebody talking about their experiences and how did that affect them emotionally, or like what were the challenges they faced in terms of like homesickness and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
It's mostly of when you look for universities in Canada, it's mostly how to apply, how are the classes, which course you have to take.
Yeah.
More of a technical part of it. But when you're coming here for the first time and you're like, it's your first time experiencing.
Which is also important.
Yeah, which is also important.
Yeah.
You're looking for experiences, motivation, feelings, emotions, which is something that there is not too much out there. And that's why we decided to probably provide that content. Like we are been here for 3 years almost. We've been students, we've been university students, and we've been just like English students, like learning how to like improve our English.
And we can give totally different perspectives because like he's from, not only because he's from a different country, but he's also taking a different program. He's in the business program. I'm taking communications. So like just the fact of
two different backgrounds
as well, two different programs in here. And we have like, aside from the podcast, we have totally different lives. Like I am a photographer. I work as a videographer as well. He like has started his own businesses. He's like in the entrepreneurial pathway, you know that. So also in that way, we can provide different perspectives from like all the things that we have been experiencing in Canada.
And we're targeting students or people our age. So this is important because a lot of YouTube channels or videos are focusing on probably on parents because they're paying. So they're trying to focus on what's the best idea, which is the best university, but they're not focusing on really what are you thinking about when you're 20, like from 17 to 21.
We want to talk about the stuff we have lived, but like we want to talk about the stuff we have been through. You know what I mean?
Storytelling. That's it. Storytelling.
Yeah. We recently opened an English session in the podcast. We only have one episode there, but we're gonna keep uploading more and more stuff because we've seen English audiences approaching us like personally and like through online as well.
Yeah, so one thing I really do want to ask you is you mentioned when you were coming to TRU, your English wasn't as good, right? So a lot of students who are watching this video now will probably think, well, these guys speak English just fine if their English is completely fluent. So when you came initially to Canada, did you have any challenges with the language? Did it take you a while to adapt?
Do you want to go first?
Well, so I first came to Canada for like to an English course because I wanted to improve my English. So I didn't come at first to university because I knew that it's gonna be a challenge because I didn't speak English really fluent. So I came here to Vancouver 6 months to study English. I went to ILAC, which is a really nice school if you want to go learn English and learn the basics from the very basics to the very like most complex things about the language. So I started like that, and it was a really huge help for me because my English was not that fluent. I didn't know about a lot of vocabulary, and I improved for over 6 months. And after that, I went to the university, which I think that's something that everyone should do. First, go study English, because if you go at first like straight up to university, it's gonna be really challenging because there's some aspects and just some vocabulary that you may not know because you're in university and the teachers are thinking that you already know those aspects, right?
Mm.
So like, yeah, and me personally kind of like had the same background. I first came to an English school, and then that English school connected me to the university. And so like I basically did all the process through them and started right away. Like I didn't have to take any ESL courses, you know what I mean? So like I didn't have to take any English courses when I came to university, thanks to that school that I previously went to.
Right.
So and 100% like I would recommend everybody, like every single student that came, and that's just our like perception from here, from our experience, and we cannot talk from like every like others' experience, but I would recommend coming to an English school, then transferring to university.
So based on your experience, right? How many international students do you think do work on their English? Because at least in my time at TRU, there were definitely a lot of students who studied in Canada for like 2, 3, 4 years, but their English still wasn't up to the mark where you guys are now, right? What do you think separates them with people like yourself who've adapted really well?
Well, I think one of the main things that I have done that has always kept my English improving is that I'm out there. You know what I mean? So like I'm out there working. So like okay, finding a job. Also like for me, one of the most important things because you're forced to talk not only to people in an informal environment, but also like business and but like business environments. You know what I mean? So like you're not and that can apply to any job. You can work at Walmart or you can work at an office, but then the language that you're gonna use or that you're gonna be forced to use with clients or people that approach you at any point will have to be a good English. You know what I mean? So like talking to another like co-workers, your bosses, the managers, everybody just makes you learn a little more about and a little more vocabulary, a little more, yeah.
And I think that's one part which is really important. But the other one is that, as you may have heard, which is just getting to know people. Like, don't get
get out
attached,
there,
with the same English. If you are from, if you speak Spanish, if you stay around with Spanish people or like people who speak Spanish, then it's gonna be a little bit hard to improve.
Yeah, be open-minded.
Yeah, but if you go and maybe talk to Brazil, just different languages, you're forced to speak English.
Right.
Probably you've heard that because a lot of people are like, you don't stay with your group because you want
to talk to Brazilians, talk to Indians, talk to everyone,
Europeans. To Canadians.
Yeah.
You have to be forced to speak English. That's the only way. If you want to learn how to ride a bicycle, you first need to go to the bicycle, right? You kind of just like watch a video, or you need to go and force yourself and tactics and prove. That's I think what I
just practice everyday talking.
Right. So just indulge yourself in it. Waleed, you actually touched on a really good point. You mentioned job searching and how your communication skills are really important. Suppose that you had the exact same skill set you have, except your communication skills. Do you think it would have been harder for you to get a job?
I don't think it would only be harder for me to get a job, but I think I wouldn't have gotten a job at all. You know what I mean? So like for me, communication is the main skill that you gotta develop when speaking in a different language, right? And so like and make sure that you're fluent in that language specifically, and then in this case English. I wanted to make sure that I could maintain any conversation about any topic in every setting. You know what I mean? So like I work as an RA in REST. So being a resident advisor, I'm forced to talk to a lot of students on a daily basis. So I was also kind of forced to talk to different people from different backgrounds and from different countries. But I also I was also forced to improve my communication skills. So like no communication skills equals no job for me. Like that's only my opinion.
No, that's true because, for example, in my case, I work at Winners, which is a big retail store, and I'm not talking about in that sense of communicating with people about like in an inner kind of environment, emotional. I'm talking more of a business. So whenever a customer comes, I need to engage in that conversation. What are you looking for? How can I help you? So that conversation is something that you need to be like confident, and you have to be forcing into having that conversation. At the end of the day, customer service, right? You want to get your business into a better, like the next level, which is customer service. How can your employees can engage with them? And that's something I've been forced to, and talking to them, explaining our products, which is something that it will come only if you go and look for it, right? If you stay at your house watching Netflix, probably you're going to improve your English, but by watching them in English, or you're not going to be in a real conversation, which is something that it will be really helpful for you at the end of the day, right? That's what I think. Talking about jobs, when you're being forced to speak English, which if you're coming to Canada, I'm 100% sure that you will speak English, right? That job, right? So that, I think that's my opinion about jobs, and I think we can,
Okay, and actually, let's just rewind back about jobs in general, right? Because such a big question international students have is, when I come to Canada, can I find a part-time job? So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how long it took you guys to find your first job when you came to Canada, and just what the process looked like?
Okay, so first of all, do you want to start with that one? You can first.
Oh yeah. Well, so I first started as gardener, and it was a pretty tough job, but it was really easy to apply. Talking about Kamloops, there's an agency that is called People Ready. So you just go and you have to like fill some paper and then sign some contracts. But at the end of the day, they're gonna call you at 6 a.m. and they're gonna tell you if there's a job available if you want to do it. That's more of an informal job because there was no such of an interview or process. When I applied to Winners, it was kind of tough because every student wants to apply for a job.
Yeah.
That's something that is really common in Canada. When you come and be in the university, like at least 70% of the students are working. So everyone is looking for a job constantly.
Right.
So the demand is really, really high. So yeah, you have to look at, like, if you go to the platforms, there's Kijiji, Facebook, where you can look for jobs, Indeed. And then so you just go and apply, and you have to create your resume. Go each store to store, give your resume, send an email. Then if you apply, you can for an interview.
Yeah, thanks for letting them know. Like all those platforms are really helpful for finding jobs.
And probably we have different perspective because my job is more of a retail, which is it's kind of hard to apply, but it's like a regular job, right?
Right.
But if you go to his part, which is a more of another level of job, which you can explain that, it's a different part. But basically, you gotta go to this platform.
It's a much harder process, I would assume.
So you can go to this platform, which is you can put in the link below if you want, and then so yeah, you can look, create your resume, send it, and you have to go and just go to store by store. That's what I did. I went to I remember I went to there's a Oshkosh, I went to Winners, I went to Albert, like a mall, to just give my resume, which is something that you are forced to do if you want to improve your student life and you want to create like a more
so as you said, so like if the first advice I would give to any international student before coming to Canada is, man, you need to get a job. Like you need to find a job. Okay, so that's the easiest way not only to improve your English, as we were saying, and your communication skills, but also as in my opinion the best way to like count down points for your PR. And for those of you who don't know what PR stands for, is your permanent resident. So like in the future, when you want to apply for your permanent resident and you want to stay in Canada, all those years that you were like either part-time or full-time in the summer or whatever you were doing, so like all those little background experiences in working will give you so much points and will look so good in your resume. So like university time, it's the best time to start building your resume. And it doesn't have to be a super fancy job. It has to be just any job that shows that you have those communication skills that we were talking about in the beginning, right?
Mm.
So yeah, so one thing what I did was, so like as I said, I work as a resident advisor in residence. So I was living in residence when I first came to university, and they were offering the job. Same process. Like I fill out an application, I send it with my resume, with a cover letter. You gotta learn how to make your resume. As soon as you came here, there are tons of templates and Word.
University helps you.
A university,
which is really helpful.
The university helps you build your man. That's totally like aside from academics.
No one takes advantage of that. I've seen such
nobody does. Nobody does. But yeah, so like send the application, got a response back. I did my interview, go through all the process. They make you like a little training in there. Once you're accepted, then you're good to go.
Okay, so for each of you, how long did it take you since you set foot in Canada to get a part-time job?
In my case, it was kind of fast. So for just over a weekend, I think for 3 or 5 days, I got accepted because I did an interview. I get my resume. I did, I think, a pretty nice interview, which is really important. That's communication skills again. When you're interviewing someone, or when you're being interviewed, you need to be fluent. You need to be confident. You need to know what you're talking about. And then after the 2 or 3 more days, I got like, you're accepted, you want to come. That's a really short process. I don't know.
I didn't work in my first semester. I took it like pretty much off. Like I was just getting like used to university life in here. University is very different from here than it is like in here than it is in my country. So I took the first semester off working, and then the next semester I applied for my job. And so like, I'm sorry. I applied in my first semester, but I didn't work during that semester. I started to work on my second semester.
Okay. And Bruno, you mentioned that 70% of students, they have jobs there in university, right? So if someone was to ask, how hard is it to find a job? Would you say it's not very hard?
It's not.
It's not hard. You have to look for it. You have to work for it. If you want to get a job, you will find it. But it's not gonna come like super easy to you. Like this is your job. Right?
I mean, you have to work for it, like everything in life. But it's just not like you don't think like. And that was one of the mistakes I made from the beginning, that I had to be this to get that job. You know what I mean? Or I have to know or have this amount of skills.
Yeah.
In order to have that job. So like don't like take off that mindset and just think that every job is for you to learn certain skills. It's not for you to like utilize all these skills that you already have. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, there are jobs there are people looking for a job.
Not all the jobs are like that, sorry.
Yeah. But there are jobs that, of course, there are some skills like prerequisites, which is if you want to go to an office or you want to do something really important. But most of the jobs here are delivery, are retail, just customer service, sales representative, which is not that hard to find one job. And there's a lot of stores looking for people all the time, and mostly on summer because everyone is going back to their countries, which is a really good time to apply because everyone's leaving. So everyone wants, like all the stores, all the businesses want to get more people. But it's not that hard. Even though the percentage is really high of students working, it's up to you. Like if it's okay for you to work as cleaning washrooms as being in an office, then there will be a problem for you. You can work as a retail, you can create just cook pizzas, you can be a waiter, you can be whatever you want. It's up to you if you want to get that job or not.
Okay. Now with the restrictions that we have on how many hours we can work as students, 20 hours, how much can you expect to make in a month? And realistically, if someone wanted to pay their tuition fee with their part-time job, would that be possible?
Depends. So if you're an international student and you want to pay your tuition with what you make out of your job, like assuming that your parents are paying for all your expenses in a month and you're on everything you're saving to pay your tuition, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, what I would recommend is don't use that money to save for your tuition, because like it's not like you're not. I mean, you can use it to help your parents pay for your tuition, but like I think, in my opinion, it's more helpful if I pay for my own stuff.
Yeah.
And my parents pay for my so like, man, like let's be real. Like international tuition, it's very expensive. Like it's not cheap. So like, I mean, I on a month working like 20 hours a week and like working good. You know what I mean? I can get like a paycheck per job. I mean, and that's I'm only talking about having one job.
Right.
'Cause you can work more than 20 hours if you're working in campus.
Hmm.
So maybe if you get like more in campus jobs, you can make it work that way and maybe have two jobs or something. But like for one job, you can make like an estimate from 700 to like 900 in a month. You know what I mean?
And that's
But
maximum capacity, right?
yeah, and that can pay for you definitely for your monthly like expenses. Yeah, like that like with that I do my groceries. I cover all my daily expenses. Like I buy my books at TRU. I buy everything I need to buy in my semester. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But uh, and I can use that money to pay my tuition, but I know it won't cover it all. And then I will have to like my parents will then have to like give me that support in the other side, and I don't want to make them do that. So like for me, it's just I'll get this, and then
Yeah.
And it's just I think, sorry for interrupting you, but
No.
being realistic, like let's say right now, from January to April,
Mhm.
you won't get that many shifts because a lot of people are spend all their money on Christmas.
Yep.
So being realistic, in this month you're not gonna get enough shifts. After like summer comes, and then after summer, like from summer, from May, June to December, there's gonna be a real amount of shifts. So when I'm talking about shifts, I'm like right now I'm getting one shift, get two shifts, 4 hours each a week.
Right.
So the maximum amount of hours we can work is 20 hours, right?
Mhm.
And the minimum wage is 13.85.
Okay.
You do the math, it's like I think 800, something like that.
yeah, and I was talking about only working in fall and and winter, but I think that you can pay your tuition with the money you make if and only if you work for the entire summer and you don't take courses for the summer. So like if you work for the entire summer and
Yeah.
you only save and you don't buy like $9 coffee at Starbucks, you know what I mean? If you save money, you can pay your tuition, like your fall tuition. You can make some money to pay your fall tuition. But if you're taking courses and working at the same time during summer and you're paying for your summer course, like it's not gonna work.
And still, if you're looking for paying your tuition with the money you're doing by working, it's not a good idea because it's gonna be a lot of pressure, and I don't recommend that. It's better to work and pay your expenses. It could be your groceries, if you want to go out, those expenses you can cover. Because if you're thinking about all the time paying for your tuition with your monthly or weekly paycheck, is gonna be really hard. It's gonna be a lot of pressure to you. So I'll say I recommend. And right now we're having a little bit of a crisis, if you can say it. There's not a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of hours, and so I'll say it's better to work on your expenses rather than working to pay your tuition.
Yeah, I'm talking from I think we're both talking from a standpoint that's not taking coronavirus into consideration. We're talking about like what the world would normally look like. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, this is the new normal now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think I'll recommend, and it's something that we've talked, which is more of create a side hustle, probably create your personal brand, and
Man,
that will
I
be
want to get into that more as well, the whole side hustle, because both of you seem to have something on the side as well. And for most students, they come, they're like, I'm going to study on one side, part-time job on the other side, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing something else as well, so I want to get into that. But just to wrap up this little subject here, if someone's coming to Canada saying, I'll pay my first semester and then I'll do a part-time job, pay for my rest of my tuition. Good idea, yes or no?
No.
So, terrible idea.
Can you repeat the question again?
If someone said, I'm going to come to Canada and save up enough to pay for my first semester or 2 semesters, and then I'm going to do a part-time job to pay the rest of the fee, is that a good idea?
I mean, if you want to pay for your tuition,
it's possible. It's possible.
it is possible. But if you wanna pay for your tuition and your daily expenses at the same time, forget it. That's not possible. Like take that out of your mind. That's not gonna work.
That's a lot of pressure.
You have to choose. You either pay for your daily expenses or you either pay for your tuition. So, yeah, man. Like
I think we're talking more about mental health, healthy kind of environment.
Yeah, because if you're
There's a
coming
lot of
here and
stress.
not doing anything except worrying about your tuition fee, what's
Yeah, it's tuition, it's working, it's university, it's a student. So, and you also want to be a good friend. You want to be a good like father. You be you. So So if you forget about these important aspects of life, you want to be good with yourself.
yeah,
Like healthy.
I mean, you can definitely burn yourself and have
Yeah,
3
but
jobs or
I
4
don't
jobs.
recommend that. 'Cause at the end of the day, you want to be happy with your like when you're studying, right? When you're
Yeah.
Staying here in Canada, you want to be happy. You want to be enjoying this moment. All
Yeah.
the time you're working, you're thinking about I have to pay this. I need to pay my tuition. I need to pay my tuition. You're not gonna worry about anything else.
I mean, definitely you can make sacrifices in life.
Yeah.
Like I know a girl that was that had 3 jobs, like 1 outside campus, like and like
Yeah.
2 in campus.
yeah,
And I can imagine that she might be making a shit ton of money,
yeah,
but I don't know how much free time she gets to do her assignments or
Yeah.
how much time she gets for school. You know what I mean? So like,
Or free time, just free time.
or,
for her.
or just free time to hang out with your friends or stuff that will keep you like mentally healthy,
yeah.
exercise and all that. So like, you can definitely come here, burn yourself, and work as many hours as you want and pay for your tuition and your daily expenses. But it's
Right.
not what we would recommend. I mean, if you don't have the money to do it and you need to do it, then go for it.
And you can always start with 2 courses, 3 courses. Like
Yeah.
so you can come here to Canada and just work for 2 semesters, 2 courses each, and that's gonna be okay. Probably you can pay that
Right.
by working. But if you're thinking on coming here, getting 5 courses,
Yeah, but how
working,
much time is that going to take you to finish university,
well,
right?
that's a balance. That's what you have
Yeah.
to balance. If what do you want to do first? You want the money, or you want to go?
If you want to come here and work and have 1 or 2 part-time jobs and you want to pay for your tuition and your daily expenses and everything, I'm talking like detached, like completely detachment from your parents. If you want to come here and pay for everything, you may be looking at taking like the least amount of courses possible, and that's gonna take you probably like what 6, 7, 8 years to finish university.
That's a long time.
What?
You know?
I mean, if you have to and there's no other option, go for it.
I don't recommend, and I
Yeah.
think
If you have like the money to, or your parents have the money to at least pay for your tuition, and you can save for your daily expenses, go for
or you can always do online courses. That's it.
And surprise, surprise, the university is a business. If you don't have money, it's not for everyone. There is a barrier to entry. Another point I want to build on is, Walid, what you said in terms of balancing. So you're balancing your classes, you're balancing your jobs, sometimes multiple jobs. And when you graduate, you need to have a resume that has a lot of skills and experience on it. If all of the experience you have is part-time jobs and just what you've graduated with your degree and you have nothing else, you've done no extracurricular activities, what do you have to contribute to your full-time job?
Yeah.
You don't have any skills you develop. So I think
Yeah, good that you touch on that topic, because like it's not only about getting the skills that you're gonna learn in the jobs and the skills that university is gonna give you, but also your side hustle skills.
exactly. And that's a very good segue into the whole side hustle thing as well. I want to get into it. So both of you have part-time jobs. Both of you are studying courses as well. So how do you not only find the time to have a side hustle, but how do you pick one if you don't know what to do?
Wow, I'm actually very passionate about time management, so it's very good that you asked.
Take it away, man. It's all yours.
Because I have developed some like good time management strategies that has worked for me, and I believe that will work for everybody who applies.
All right, I'm about to drop some gold here. Let's hear it. Man.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so okay, first of all, like I have, and that's how I organize my stuff. I have like 3 different. Okay, I have 1 notebook where I like write down all the stuff that I have to do on a daily basis. So like, this is what I have to do for my job. This is what I'll have to do today, and that's something that you get for like every day. Every day I'm writing new stuff in there. I also have a board in my room, and I divide it into like 3 parts. And this is all the things. These are not daily tasks, but these are things that I have to accomplish on a weekly basis. And I have like all this stuff that I have to do as an RA, all this stuff that I have to do as a student, and all this stuff that I have to do as a photographer and videographer. So like if I come up with a photo shoot, I will also have another board that has like a calendar.
How many boards do you have in your room, man?
Two boards. Okay, so like this board that I'm talking about has a calendar, and this is what I write down all the stuff that I like, you know, appointments. If I need to do a photo shoot, if somebody books a photo shoot, If somebody does that, that's what I would put all that stuff. If deadlines for assignments, deadlines to handle stuff at work and all that. But then having that like difference
Structure.
between having that structure between like things that you do on a daily basis and all this stuff that you need to do on a weekly basis, and then like having that look at everything that you have to do in your 4 months, like in the whole semester, gives you like a very good perspective and like very good, like I'm very visual, so like I have to have everything visual in my room or like whatever I'm doing. So like that's why I have to write everything down. First of all, like write everything down and make sure that you're scheduling your day. Nobody schedules their days.
So Walid, I want to stop you here for just a sec. How many students do you know that do what you do?
I don't know, man, but like not so many.
I think it like talking about that like structured time management thing. There's like you sum up everything because that's pretty true. But there's something else that I think really applies, and I just learned that for like just a few weeks ago when our mentor, Gabe, shout out to Gabe, he told us the best time management tip I could give you is just do it. Like just do it. Like if you're always wondering about what you have to do next, then there's always something to do, right? Yeah. So if there's I need to finish this assignment, and then I'm gonna put it into 2 more days. Then you're gonna start thinking about those 2 days that you need to work on that assignment.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're doing it right now, then you're done with that. If you wanted to create your website, work with that. Even though if you don't finish it, you're starting working with it. So just do your things. You can structure everything you want. You can schedule everything you want. But at the end of the day, there's gonna be something for tomorrow and for the next day and for the next week. But if you start doing it right now, probably you won't finish it from that day.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like for the next, it's gonna be I'm fresh now. What do I have to do for this day?
Yeah.
You're done with it the next day, and then you're not pressured about working every day and having everything scheduled for the next day because you're creating like anxiety and I need to end this for tomorrow. Even you're not focusing on today, you're focusing on tomorrow, and you're losing energy by thinking that tomorrow. So I think you did it like super good by telling all these advices. But I think my tip would be just do it. Like if you want to finish something, just do it right now.
Okay. Yeah. Also, like scheduling your days. I feel like not so many people schedule their days. Like I like have 8 a.m. I'll do this. Like 10 a.m. I'll do this. You know, and then having that weekly schedule
up to like 1 o'clock on the weekend, man. They drink on a Friday, they wake up late, and then they play PS4, FIFA the whole day. And
I think that's because there's a question that you need to ask yourself is how bad do you want it, right?
And be clear with your goals.
Yeah, because if you want to be successful, right? So what's successful for you? Yeah? Could be successful for you, could be a specific amount of money, or you could be just happy, or you could be just doing whatever you want, or you're working with your passion. So it's how bad do you want, how much you want to get into that level. And then if you're that's something I really want. Let's say I want to create a YouTube channel.
We're throwing a little motivation here.
Motivation, let's go.
How bad you want to create that YouTube channel is how bad you want to work for it.
Right.
Like if you're always waking up at 1 p.m. playing PS4, then that's not your priority. That's not your passion. It's all about priority. Do you want that?
Yeah, like it's basically like know what you want, and once you know what you want and whatever you want to accomplish, just start working towards that. I know that if I go to a party on a Friday night and I have something to do tomorrow at 8 a.m., like Saturday 8 a.m., no matter what time I arrive to my place, even it's at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., at 8 a.m., I'll be ready doing whatever I have to do. You know what I mean?
And it's just step by step. Like you're not gonna just wake up one day. It's gonna be like, okay, I have this mindset to successful and perfect.
Road to success, let's go.
Yeah, it will start a little by little, but you have to first keep that step, right? You could be the first one. It could be just writing down your goals. What do you want? What's your priority? And then after that, how am I gonna work with it? And then you're going to schedule your day. Then you're going to give a little bit of feedback to others, or you're going to write it. So it's more of a step-by-step, but you already know what you want. If you don't know what you want, it's going to be really hard because...
So let's just scale back on that exact sentence you said. What do you want, right? So a lot of students come in, they think their priority is to finish university, find a job, and survive while they're there with a part-time job. They're not really thinking about a side hustle at all, right? So... First of all, let's talk about what constitutes as a side hustle and why students should consider having one in the first place.
Okay, so how would you define? I would define a side hustle as something you're working on that's related to your passion and that's giving you money at the same time.
Okay.
So like I am very passionate about photography and filmmaking and videography and all that stuff. So like I have already started to work to develop that passion, and it's a hobby that's giving me money at the same time. You know, I mean, you have to do something that you're passionate about, because else you get bored about it, or because like it won't give you money at the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
it won't give you, or you won't accomplish all the goals you want at the beginning. But only if you keep on working on that, eventually, if you're disciplined enough, you will start to make a job out of that hobby.
Yeah.
And okay, so he explained exactly how are you gonna work with your side hustle, but just go one step back. So your side hustle, how do you wanna define your side hustle? Is by doing, right? Because he knows his photography and videography.
Doing stuff.
But he didn't know that until he took a camera and he started taking pictures, right? So if you wanna do your side hustle, if you wanna create your side hustle or just get to know what your side hustle is, you need first to start doing everything.
Stuff.
Yeah,
start doing stuff.
Like if you wanna go and take pictures, then you can go and go to the gym and probably that's something you will like, and you'll be an influencer in the gym. If you want to start your website or IT something, but you need first to start by doing. If you start doing your things, then probably you will get to know what your passion is, and then it won't feel like a hustle. It will feel something like it's normal to you, and you want to keep growing with it because that's normal to you.
And that applies to every single freaking thing in the world. Like if you want to be a professional e-gamer, like how many times a day are you playing video games? 4, maybe you should play 6 or 8 if you want to actually become like a professional e-gamer.
It's that your passion.
If that is your passion, like whatever your passion is, like passion can apply to everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So what if you have a student who is very content with their lifestyle? So they go to class, they come home, play video games, and they don't have a problem with it. So should they consider getting a side hustle still? Should they not be happy in the state they're in? What do you think?
That's a good question, because that's 2020.
I mean, for me, and in my opinion, if they're happy, if you're happy and you're not complaining about your life, and I don't know, an entrepreneur that's called Gary Vee has talked a lot about this. If you're happy with whatever thing you're doing and with your life, and you have no complaints, you're not complaining at all, and you're 100% happy, then keep your life as it is right now. But if you're gonna have that routine that you mentioned, and you're gonna be complaining about, damn, why don't I have more money? Why am I not this? Well, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to do that, and you complain all the time.
That's the time when you have to start working.
Then that's the time when you have to notice. Okay, maybe now is the time to start working on that side hustle that I want to work on.
I think the words could be self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be self-aware of who you are and of who you want. Like a lot of times we get caught into the when they ask you, okay, so who are you? We give 2 different answers. So that it's going to be who we think we are and who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so I think I'm pretty productive. I have a good grades.
It's like how you think you're good at soccer, but you actually suck.
Yeah. Not me. I'm better than him. So it's all about perspective, right? It's all about how you want to look at yourself.
Right.
If you're really aware of you're not good at, like, let's say sports, but you're really good at e-gaming or playing video games, then you have to work in your video games. You have to be self-aware of who are you in order to work in your passion. So if it's okay for you to procrastinate, because we all do. You do it, we do it. But it's also okay to work towards our passion, right? So if we start complaining about why we don't have enough things or we don't have enough money, then that's probably the time that you're going to start working.
Yeah, basically to wrap up your question, so like if you're happy with it, no complaints, keep doing the same thing. If you're not happy with it and you start complaining, then work. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's a good, well-rounded discussion there. Good. So let's talk a little bit about just the difference between people who you think are productive and people who aren't particularly productive. So say you have a student who has all these aspirations, and you've got another student who's also got these aspirations, but one person is like yourself, doing all the time management, the goals, and the other person isn't. What are some habits that you have seen in students who are not particularly successful?
I think productive is ambiguous word, because what's productive, right? Like,
yeah,
very productive. productive could be just going to school, getting a job, and eating healthy.
Yeah, good
Or
point.
productive could be just getting a job, study, getting your business, eating healthy, going to exercise. So I think it's more of how do you want to manage yourself towards something. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, probably your core value is going to be business, right?
Yep.
So productivity could be just your important priorities for the day, having them really scheduled, as you said, and working towards it. So, and it could be good to just have one important goal. So if you want to finish one book about business, then that's your task, that's your goal, that's your everyday goal till you finish that book. So productivity could be just managing your time and 15 minutes each day reading something, right? So it's more of there's no right or wrong about productivity. It's more how bad you want something and you want to work for it, and how productive you are towards it is how good productive you are, good of a person in productivity. I think that's what I don't know. What can you say about that?
Yeah, for what I have noticed on students that are not particularly productive is that they often don't like give the importance their time deserves. So like they're spending time on things that they're definitely not proud of. So I'm recently reading a book that's called Essentialism, and so like the book talks about how we say yes to everything, that we end up not making anything, or how we live in a world where we want to know everything. We want to know everything, that we end up knowing nothing. You know what I mean? So
an example of that.
yeah, for like
Give my example.
All the information is so available to us that we're not focusing our energy towards the things that really
You're like
matter.
scattered. You're everywhere.
Yeah, if you try to learn a little bit of everything, you will end up not knowing anything about nothing.
That's a very good point.
If you focus your energy towards one particular, so like I have already found the stuff that I'm passionate about. So like I will burn my ass off to learn more every day about photography and videography and all those stuff.
Yeah.
But if I try to learn a little bit about photography, then a little bit more about gaming, and then a little bit more about I don't know, peanut butter, and then a little bit more about like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I spend all my energy towards stuff that's not contributing to one same goal,
Yep.
that's when you're not productive.
I think the best example could be I wanted to read a lot of books, so I bought like 5 books, and I wasn't reading no books, and I was like, damn, I want to read a lot, I want to learn a lot, but at the end of the day, I'm not reading anything. Like I'm getting 1 pages from this, 1 page from this, 1 page, and then at the end of the day, I wasn't even learning because I wanted to read all the books at the same time. So that's probably more a clear example of now I'm just reading 1 book, I'm finished it, and I can go to another one.
The same thing happens to me when I watch YouTube videos. I watch how to do XYZ and then finish that video, watch the next one, how to do ABC, and then I watch 15 videos and I've done nothing.
because let's be honest.
Yeah.
You will never learn everything that's out there. Never. If you don't focus your energy on knowing something specifically,
Yeah.
like at the best, it was in the last podcast episode. It's not out there yet, but we were talking about how important it is to focus on one thing and to learn about that thing specifically, or else you will spend all your energy and all your effort talking about like trying to learn everything else, and then you're just gonna make little improvements on everything, little improvements that's not gonna take you anywhere. If you make more significant contributions to only one goal, it's gonna take you very far. Work on your strengths better than your weaknesses. A lot of people try to improve their weaknesses when in fact what you have to actually focus on is your strength. Yeah. Make sure that you're the best at the stuff that you're very good at.
You also need to believe you're the best doing that. Right?
Yeah.
So it's all about desire, faith. Like you're learning all the skills, but if you don't believe in yourself that you're the best podcaster, YouTube influencer, gym coach, whatever you want to name it, if you don't believe in yourself first, then there's
So
going to be a barrier.
I want to talk more about the podcast that you started, because this is kind of what we're talking about: starting something, just saying yes to it and going with it. Now, when you put yourself out there on social media, right? Of course, a lot of people are watching. You're doing something new. You're under a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people. So tell me a little bit about the initial journey when you were starting, the kind of response you got, and what are some of the challenges you had when you started?
Are you talking more of a technical way or more of an internal?
I think like you're asking this more like challenges, and I'm gonna talk about like internal challenges.
Sure.
People are gonna criticize you. Like everybody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you'll do that people
will
not be like
used to. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I told once Bruno that when we were first starting, at the beginning, everybody's gonna talk shit about X or Y project, but eventually they're gonna get used to it. You know, they're gonna get used to these two podcaster boys. They're gonna get used to a YouTuber. If I want to start a YouTube channel,
at first it's gonna be weird because you haven't started a YouTube channel,
and everybody's gonna
but
be like,
then it's gonna be like, oh, he's uploading YouTube videos every week. That's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
They're gonna get used to it. Everybody's gonna get used to it in terms of like people criticize, like making critics about your work, and in terms of like the technical stuff,
it is. I still it's a little bit complicated because you need to learn a lot. You need to learn about YouTube. You need to learn about social media. You need to learn about algorithm. So it is. It's not like okay, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel. I'm gonna be an influencer. It's not right.
Yeah, it's a short-term goal that way.
Yeah. And that's something important. You said it's patience, right? Patience, because if you want to start a YouTube channel, probably for the 6 months you won't get even like 100 views. That's it. Yeah. But it's how much you want something. It's how patience are you gonna be towards that. So we're still working with it because we just started like a few months ago. It's still pretty new.
And you're doing pretty well for someone who just started off. You're already at 100 something.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But you need to work.
So you definitely crossed that first hurdle.
But I think that's more
put on the work,
which is hustle, work. Like you have to upload content every day. You need to have good value. So it's not just creating a YouTube channel and
learning the marketing part of it.
So it's a lot of technical and tactical things that you need to take like in consideration, because they're really important. Because if you're uploading video, let's say every week, but you're not posting content on the social media, then you're not getting enough views, but you're not sharing it with your friends. So it's more of a chain that you need to be working on. So technical, that's it. Internal, they're going to criticize you. You have to be strong, self-aware, love yourself. That's it.
Yeah, and I just want to speak to this a little bit as well, because when I was starting my channel, this was, I actually started on Instagram first. So I started just talking about, I was doing some presentations around TRU and I'll just document them, right? So over a span of about 6 months, my followers went from, I think, 300 to 7,000 something. And I was just getting high off of that validation. Like, oh my God, this is what I need to do. More content, more motivation, double down on it.
Yeah.
And I was going that whole Tony Robbins approach, you gotta all that.
Yeah.
But then you would have some people who were like, oh man, this guy's so cringy, man. Shit, why does he talk about all this inspiration, all that stuff? And you would always hear it in the third person, like, oh, you know, this guy said that about you. Even though you don't want to think about it, like, is that how people are thinking? Because when I'm making it, I'm like really passionate about it. So I think initially it was so hard just to turn the camera on and say anything.
Yeah.
You feel like the whole world is watching, but realistically, you're the one taking action. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone else is a spectator. It's like when you go to watch a football match, there are two kinds of people: the people that are playing football and the people who are in the audience. So you'd rather be on the field than on the sidelines, right? And that's what you guys are doing. I think you guys have already started doing it. 100 subscribers already. And let's talk a little bit about the whole saying yes thing, right? So if someone is on that fence right now, they want to get started with something. They have a project in mind. They're too shy to do it. They don't have the confidence. What's something you can tell them right now?
Do it. Don't think about it.
Like Nike.
I mean, yeah, like people are gonna talk shit about you no matter how good you do it or how bad you do it. Make sure, try to do it as best as possible, but don't give so much like
attention to it.
Yeah, like that. Like,
I think it's more of a
black out your ears, man.
So I
black out your mind.
If you're still thinking about doing something, as you were saying, you want to be in a spectator, or you want to be on the field. That was a really good analogy. But let's say that what's the worst thing could happen if you start something?
Yeah.
Nothing,
Exactly.
right? The worst thing is that your YouTube channel don't get enough views. Your podcast don't get enough listeners. Your business don't sell that much. Your YouTube channel or like your coaching thing on gym don't get enough customers. So what's the worst thing that it could happen? If it's affecting you, then probably it's okay. It's learning.
Think about the worst thing, and also for everybody who's wanting to start a project, think about your why. Why are you starting? I'm gonna recommend the best tech talk ever that I have watched in my entire life.
What you're gonna say?
Start with Why by Simon Sinek. So like, think about your why. Like always, think about why are you doing this? What is your if you generally think about an idea, and it doesn't have to it has nothing to do with money. If you generally think that you can influence people in a certain way, or that you have X or Y talent, if you genuinely believe that your goal is towards helping others or changing the world in some way, if you genuinely believe that and you have a clear why you're starting, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be successful no matter what.
And that's your vision. So that's your vision, which is fueled by your desire, and desire is fueled by faith. So it's a chain, right? How much are you believing in yourself? It's how much you're gonna get into your why and your product or your service. It's just start. Like if you have a good product, a good service, you believe in yourself, there's nothing else. Like
let's connect that to studying in Canada. Actually, that's a very good point, because I get a lot of comments, people saying, hey, should I study computer science or supply chain or accounting or finance? Which one should I study? I'm like, which one do you want to study?
Which one do you like? I mean, there's no answer for that. That's also about what Bruno said. You said that. Be self-aware. Know what you're good at and know what you like, what you actually like, and then everything will come easily. Yeah, it will naturally come.
It's just what do you want? Like
that question.
It's like the thing is that it's a tough question.
You have to try things. You have to try things.
Yeah, that's the thing that we cannot answer that question to the students because we don't know what you want. The only answer we could give you is
try as many things as possible.
What is the thing that you really like the most? Okay, go for it. That's it.
I always ask this question
and just go for it. If you're thinking about money, which is the degree that's gonna get you more money, then you're losing right at the beginning.
That's like 80% of the comments I get, to be honest.
Which is I'm gonna be making a good amount of money by doing accountant, or you're gonna be making a good amount of money being IT.
Right.
If you're thinking about money first, then your core value structure here thing is like fuck.
I will always ask this question. What is something that you could actually do for the rest of your life, even if you wouldn't get paid for it?
That's a good question to ask.
And if you can answer that question with like anything that you're doing in this world, think about how what degree works best for that. So like if you could do YouTube for the rest of your life, even if you wouldn't get paid for it, and you would be very passionate about it, maybe you should be thinking about doing some like new media major, you know what I mean, or communication major, like maybe. Or if you want to build a business that you always wanted to build, maybe just take a career in business. And that's what I would recommend to them.
And not too many people have that as a focus. Most of them are just like, how do I come to Canada? How do I get the best course? How do I get a job? And then everything else we'll worry about later. But these things, I think they're so important because everything you learn in university, all the skills, they allow you to do all this side hustle stuff, right? Like Gary Vee talks about and all that stuff. I'm a big believer in having, clearly the YouTube channel is a very good example of that. I had to put 160 videos out to make $5 I made in about a year, and that only like the past week. So if there's anything that tells you how much time you have to put into something you really enjoy, that should give you some idea. Hopefully most of you will get there a lot faster than I did, but it kind of shows you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't enjoy it, right? If I told you to do a data entry desk and I'll give you $100,000 to do it, how long could you do it for? No matter how much money you get, the satisfaction, you just don't get it, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I think
and this is something that I feel universities should stress more on, not just the actual academic side of it. And I think, Bruno, you and I were having this conversation before just about university itself and whether it's worth it and what you should get out of it, right? So it's a touchy subject, and I have my own opinion about it as well. So if you had to say, if you knew exactly what you wanted to do in life, okay, let's take photography for example, right? Is there any other way of learning other than university?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
There's you know how you can learn about anything you want, bro. There is one word, as simple as it is. Google, man. It's called Google. You can nowadays you can Google anything. You can Google anything and find free courses, or just go to YouTube and find courses about that's how I started. I watch YouTube videos every day for 3 hours, and then I went out and take photos, and then come back and watch another 3-hour videos on how to edit my photos.
That's the difference. You actually took action on those things you watched.
Yeah.
Like, it's important to go to university, but you can learn as well. But you can learn as well, like, outside.
I mean, if you're an international student and you want to come to Canada, the easiest way is coming to university. Like, don't even doubt about coming to university, because that's gonna be your easiest way to get a permanent resident in Canada and all that. But maybe while doing that, and make sure it's a degree that you of course like, but while doing that, start working on your side passion that maybe you can develop in the future. You don't know how anything is gonna turn out.
And there's some things that are really easy if you're a student, talking about the external things. So let's say LinkedIn. If you're a student at university, then you get free courses, which is LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah.
Which is, if you want to learn like things like from copywriting to leadership, there's free courses.
Yep.
So there's that. There's books. Like, the thing about books, it is quite interesting, because imagine there's a person with 30-year experience, with a lot of knowledge in his head or her head, and then he or she wants to write that in a book in 300 pages, and then wants to give it to you for just $10, $15, 30 years of knowledge for you for 10, $15. Then you have to take advantage of it. That's a book, right? That's 30 years of knowledge.
And that applies to
30 pages.
And that applies to e-courses.
So it's YouTube videos, it's just books, Google. So if you want to learn,
the information is out there.
Internet is free.
Out there.
So you don't need to pay just for the monthly rate, but you can learn a lot from it, right? So it's a balance. What do you want to do in life? You can go to university and still getting a lot of knowledge outside. That's up to you. It's just, as you were saying, action. How much you want something, take action.
Okay, perfect. Well, we've touched on a whole number of subjects here. Let's just wrap up with the current situation. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. We've got this whole coronavirus situation happening. Things have changed quite a bit. A lot of students coming to Canada are concerned about what the situation is like. They're not able to travel. So as existing students right now, tell me about the changes that have happened on campus to jobs. What's going on?
Well, so I know your job has already canceled.
Well, talking about jobs, I'm not working anymore.
But you're still getting paid, right?
I'm still getting paid, but I'm getting shifts until I don't know when.
So how does that work? You get paid, but you don't have shifts?
Yeah, so
so like the government.
The government is helping the businesses, so they're giving money in order to pay the wages. So we're not getting shifts. Like, they reduce our shifts. So if I was gonna work for 2 days,
I assume it's not a lot where you're getting paid, but
but it's still.
at least
so I'm
something.
not working. I'm getting paid, but there is no job. They're shutting down businesses. And talking about that. I'm talking about university. There's no more classes.
No more like face-to-face classes,
there's
only online classes right now.
And that's mostly it. And we're just in quarantine, so we're not trying to self insulation.
We're self-isolating right now, because the government hasn't released any official thing that you have to stay, it's mandatory to stay home.
Yeah.
But we're just taking our own precautions. The only thing
it's consciousness. It's just, if you want to be healthy and you don't want to be infecting a lot of people, you're gonna stay home.
Yeah.
Right? So it's mostly it.
What about all the new students who've come just this semester? They probably can't find a job now. They don't have classes. What's going on with them?
That's a tough question.
Right now it's not an easy time to find a job, because you won't probably find any, because most businesses are closing.
They're laying off a lot of people.
Yeah, they're laying off a lot of people right now. But as everything, man, I believe that the situation is gonna get better and things are gonna go as usual. I don't know when. I wanna assume that everything's gonna get better soon.
Mhm.
But for now things are not going well. Like, and
and that's true. But the most important part is how are you gonna take, like, how are you gonna perceive this adversity? Because in times of crisis, there is a lot of opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
So still, if there is you're not getting a job, you can work.
more time to work on your side hustle.
Yeah,
There you go.
So there's opportunities all the time, right? So if you want to create a YouTube channel, now is the time.
Now is the time.
If you want to learn about copywriting, go and write. So now you have free time. Probably you won't get paid for it because no one's gonna pay for it. It's just side hustle. But you have a lot of time to work with it, and you start building.
Okay. And just one last concern for people who did rely on part-time jobs to pay their rent and groceries, what are they doing?
I think the government is saying that they want to help and they're going to provide
Even international students?
to everyone in Canada.
But
I'm not quite sure. I don't want to be quoting something.
Next thing you know, someone's suing you because it's false.
Yeah, no. I watched a video about Trudeau was saying that, but I don't know if it's going to be for students. It's going to be just for Canadian citizens.
I don't think it's going to be for students.
I don't know. But if you were relying on that, then now it's the time to work on your side also. Like, there's no other thing.
Everything comes back to
like, if you rely on your part-time job, I believe, like, there's no job that's gonna be like, okay, you're out and we're not gonna pay you anything. Like, no one's doing that. If you're not working right now, or your job is giving you the least shifts possible, then they are somehow like contributing to your daily expenses and all that. I don't know if
I think that's why they're paying me. I don't want to get into too much detail because I don't know too much about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I think I'm gonna be getting paid for the shifts I'm not working, and that's it.
Yeah, these words, like, don't take them for granted, because like we haven't done like any research. This is just stuff that we have been hearing about, that we have checked on social media and all that, but like nothing is for sure.
So it's more for that. So
yeah, especially here in Vancouver, the situation is definitely not looking good. The amount of layoffs is ridiculous. Like, people left and right, 70% reduction in revenue. There are no events, there's no bars open. Everyone working in a hotel, restaurants, all of them have been laid off. So it's looking pretty likely we're going to go into a recession if we haven't already, I feel. So in terms of the immediate future, the job prospects, especially for people who just graduated. I mean, imagine finishing a 3-4 year program and then being hit with the coronavirus and then having no one hiring. So definitely a very tough position to be in, but I think all students can do is wait, right? Like, what else can any of us do?
Yeah.
Right? All right, perfect, guys. Well, we've talked for quite a while now. Any finishing comments? Where can people follow you? What's your podcast? What are your social media handles? Let's hear it.
Okay, so you can find us on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Anchor.
You can find us as Irreversible Life for those who speak Spanish and listening to us. Irreversible Life, and you can also we are in every social media. We are in LinkedIn, we are in Twitter, we are in Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are also in YouTube, which we would appreciate you going there, subscribe to our channel. We are releasing English content as well. So
already knows the drill. He's like, hey.
Link below.
So yeah, if you watch our videos, leave us any questions that you have, and we will also be willing to go through those questions.
We're happy to answer.
Engage with us, because we will be happy to engage back with you. So yeah.
Perfect. And thank you so much for having us here and just giving a little bit of your time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the links are gonna be down here somewhere. So.
No, but thank you so much for having us and just
we do appreciate it. Like it's first of all, like it was a pleasure for us to be here in your channel,
working with you.
Yeah,
just
we're just talking and working
giving
with somebody,
value.
working with somebody that has been in this field longer than us and that has more experience than us. We are just
$5.
Yeah,
$5 as well. So just
you already started. You started, and you already got some.
Loaded, man. You never know, guys.
Congratulations, though.
Thank you very much. As soon as I hit 100, I'll let you guys know. We'll get a beer.
Yeah, of course, definitely, man. And I'm like, this is a relationship that's gonna keep going, man. Like we're gonna keep in touch, learning from each other. We wanna like for sure learn from you. And if there's anything that we can contribute to your channel, we will also do. There's another collaboration that's coming in our channel, so stay tuned with that.
Good, man. You guys got a lot of things lined up. I like it. You're all planning it. You got like your little board with all the little names. Okay. I love it, man.
I hope you enjoyed this. They gave plenty of information in this video here. I will include all their social media. Follow them there. Ask them all the questions you want to ask them. They're currently students and they can give you a really good insight on what it's actually like to be a student, international student in Canada.